All right, another day, which consequently, it feels kind of cold out here after, you know, being 140 degrees for the last month. It's windy, and I don't know what the temperature is, but I almost need a coat on. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. We're gonna start another project, because why finish the ones we already have going when we could just, you know, do something else. So that's what we're gonna do right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver, man. And a good while back, we acquired this 508 plow, which consequently, I did not know until conferring with that Oliver guy that an easy way to tell a 508 plow is they had a plate welded in the end of this tube with 4 holes in it. And that is the only plow that had that, as far as we can tell. And looking at all the literature and things, I would say that that plays out right. Who knows what those are for? I don't, you know. I thought maybe that was put in there for if they had planned on going on land version with it, but I don't think they ever made an on land 508 plow, so who knows why they did that. You know, most of the other plows were like this, where they just had a piece of steel welded over the hole, you know, not recessed into the tube like that. So whatever, doesn't matter. But as you can see, what has plagued our plow here from day one was extremely rusty hydraulic lines, hoses in particular, that would never ever ever lift this thing even one more time, not at all. So the other day I started kind of messing with it, and I mean a slight turn of the thing and it just ripped up into pieces. So we're going to have to try to get that apart, and I'm hoping that I can save the lines that are going down the frame. However, that may not be the case, I don't know. So we're gonna need 2 hoses here. We're gonna need 2 for this bend, which is gonna be kind of a, that's gonna be kind of a trick, because we're gonna have to have it, you know, look how precise length they did. And I can't really, I won't be able to go back with these steel lines, but I could potentially go forward with these a little if I had to, but I don't want to do that much, you know. Those are probably the ones we have to put in first, just to see what happens. And consequently, I also noticed that what they did was they did put those in first, because there's no swivel to my knowledge on there, unless that is a swivel right there. They just kind of crammed them in there and went with it. But I got to get this apart and before I even get hoses to see what I'm gonna need, because I will assume that I'm gonna need some couplers here. Some of those look like garbage. I doubt I'll get those out. Probably could if I'd heat them, but we'll just see. We're gonna start back here, I think. Or do we want to start up front? Because I'm sure up front we will have success. So maybe we should do that. Maybe we should start up front so we feel like we accomplished something. Do you figure? However, I'm also guessing that it's probably, this just is not, what am I trying to say here? Well, we're just not going to have a good time at this, no matter how you look at it. I should probably get a wrench that fits that, but we all know that's probably not gonna go. You know? See, that would fit in there good, so. I know a wrench is gonna slip immediately. I just know that, so. I've kind of embraced the failure. Now this is gonna come apart here, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting new ends. I don't really care where it comes loose, as long as it comes loose. I was a desperate man, I could probably take this over and heat that and get the coupler loose, but I think buying a new coupler would just as well be just as good, is what I'm saying. Oh, it's still got some oil left in it. I don't know, maybe we want to try to get the couplers loose, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, there's two. I'm feeling that those are probably going to be sadness. Will these even come loose remotely easy? What if I put this on here? Nope, they're all going to want to come off of the pipe. This is a swivel, so that's nice. See, maybe I won't even have to take the pipes out. I thought I would have to. Oh, stiff. I need to get the right size wrench now, because that will turn if I do that. What do we figure that is, 7/8? It's funny how the other day when I tried this and it was super hot outside, nothing was working for me. I couldn't even get one thing to move, and I was over it, and I thought I'll do this another day, and now today it's just coming loose, you know. Sometimes it's a good thing to just walk away, because you will destroy more than if you know what I'm saying. Well, that was real good for the camera. I bet that wasn't good for you. Oh, I mean, it's just a GoPro, $400. I mean, what's that matter? One. Yep, that one's gonna come loose too. That's crazy. Gotta put you down. I can't do everything I'm wanting to do here. I think we're gonna have our first strikeout. And that's a shame. All right, come on. One. Will this one come loose? It's gonna do the same thing. Gonna have to try to clamp on there. There we go. I think we're gonna get her, friends. Can't believe it. Things are happening, and that is pleasant, because I didn't think that that would work based on what I saw from back here. I mean, there ain't no swiveling going on that one anymore. I think that would snap over there by now. Well, this one did the same thing. It has a swivel. Okay, good. The swivel's working on it. Well, that would be tight, right? God bless America. This is not going to work, is it? This might be the end where we end up having to do something different, because this is not going to play ball here with me. There. Oh, gee. You know, you're in the way. Woohoo! Let's just struggle bust through life. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Now, can we get that one out? I'm worried about getting these out without taking the clamp loose, because there's just not a lot of room. I don't know that those are original, or if these are, that this guy replaced them once and whatever was on there, he couldn't get, so he put these on. I don't know. That is neither here nor there. What's important now is trying to get this loose. See, that's what I figured would happen. It's okay. I think we got her. Just got her yet. Oh. Come on. There we go. It'll turn out even more. Every time you turn it, tons of rust powder fall down all over you. So that's cool. All right. All right, I got my tape measure here. Or, yeah, it was my tape measure. Still is, it's just not all of it. But I'd like to get some idea of what length stuff we have close. And I'm sure that every Chinesium hose company is going to measure it differently. See, this comes out to like 33 inches. So I'm guessing that's probably 36 if you use the standard hose. I should be writing this down. Now these, I believe, they're slightly more than 12 inches, but the rubber part's 12 inches. So some people, I'm thinking, are probably measuring hoses by in between the two crimps. And some people measure them from just behind the threads, in which case they would be 16, which is about what they would need to be, about 16 inches. These up here don't matter as much, as long as they're long enough to get to wherever you were going. And I think they were 48 is what they were. I like how they don't even bend straight for a minute anymore. So now my decision is, do I try to hunt this all up in town at a farm store? B, do I take it in and have my friends make them? However, typically that is not the cheapest option when you just need pipe thread hoses. If you need just, you know, pipe thread on both ends, it's a lot cheaper to go to a pre-made hose. But option 3 would be to look online and order them, but then we won't be able to get this done for 3 or 4 days. I will probably choose that option because I would like to have the kind that swivel on one end so I can eliminate one step of this. You know, I thought about going to my friends and custom making them and having JIC on one end and put an adapter in, which would be nice, but that'll be a lot more expensive. And I think that Rural King sold swivel-ended hoses on one end. Tractor Supply sells rigid hoses, which I usually like because swivels leak, you know. But if I could order from Rural King online, I could probably eliminate adapters and stuff, you know. See, like there, he's got adapters. That's why I bet he replaced these on this cylinder end at one time. But I will do some research and I'll bring you back when I got stuff to make this go. All right, about 40 miles and 2 different stores later, I managed to procure enough hoses to fix this project. What do you suppose hoses cost for something like this? Well, if you guessed $360, you're right. Isn't that not ridiculous? I guess, though, $40 of that was hoses I bought for that loader, which I worked on yesterday but didn't video, so it is what it is. It's just the idea that, I mean, is that not ridiculous? Yes, it is. That is the answer to the question. So, we're going to have to start somewhere. I suppose that, do we want to just start on this end and work our way along? Yeah. What fun. What fun, friends. All for something that I will probably only use once or twice in my lifetime, you know. Come on, get out of there. I'm sure that this would be a lot easier to do if a person would, you know, take the stuff off so that they could get to everything. But that ain't how we roll here. You know, we just do our thing and we hope for the best. Let's see if we can pre-tighten it. As we tighten the hose in, I'm sure it will probably spin and do some more. We're gonna hope it don't leak either, because there looks to be a lot of potential in that department. There's an airplane, kind of low, but as long as he doesn't crash, I'm cool with it. Sure. There was one out here the other day doing tricks, and no, it was not the crop sprayer plane, because that plane is a different color. But it was a guy in a bi-wing plane who was doing all kinds of trickery. We ran into our first snag. These are not exactly the couplers that I wanted. And there's why. We're going to struggle the whole way. I was hoping that those would bypass each other. now to do something else that I hate, which is using two different hoses. In order to get enough stuff to do this, had to get some from two different places. And this one is a rigid on both ends hose, and this one in the box should be a swivel on one end hose, because it came from two different places. I usually prefer the non-swiveling kind, because swivels just are another place that stuff can leak. And especially on what we're doing right here, this part, the part to the tractor, we really don't need a swivel in this hose, because there's nothing to keep us from doing that thing. And I bet you that we're gonna just fight the whole way. I just bet you. Life ain't gonna go our way here, friends. That wouldn't happen to be that size, would it? No. That's because the swivel-ended hoses are an odd size, like 1 1/16 or something, which is so goofy. Okay. See that nice swivel that's going to leak later on in its life? Sure. Oh, the closeness, friends. The closeness of these hoses. Ouch. I'll hit you in the face too, you piece of crap. I have a 7/8 wrench that would fit right on there, and I wouldn't have to fool with it. Well, awesome. So far, I am not progressing very good here with my plan. Thought it'd be nice to have one bag as a trash bag as we go along, so I don't have all the plastic things everywhere, because as we know from previous experience, between me and Buddy the dog, we can make a mess. We can be slobs, and we can have stuff all over the place. And so if I can at least pick it up to start with. These we'll need in a minute. We'll set those aside. I mean, some people might say that was foolish of me to buy couplers, but was it, friends? Does that look like something that would be reusable? I don't think so. Maybe, but life's too short, you know? Gets tight, fine with me. Sure. Now we will ride struggle bus, because I probably should have done this part before I put it on the plow, but I'm so excited. I just want stuff together. Okay, are we not gonna surely the Oh, friends, this is one of those times when I could just about hit a puppy. I mean, this is an O-ring deal. Are they both? They're both O-ring tips. Wonderful. So we won't be doing this today, because for some stupid reason, since these things were not even in the right spot on the hooks in the store, I mean, they were all over in two different places, and they both happened to be wrong. I should have looked closer, and I didn't. So that's a fail for Ross. I guess I will either try to get some in town tomorrow, or I will cry about it in the corner. And, you know, because I'm sure I don't have any more extras. I can go look after a while, but I'm pretty sure I don't. So we'll just tuck those fellers out of the way for now. Let's get rid of these nasty old ones, because they aren't going to love us anymore anyway. Oh, friends, it's just frustrating. That's a 3/8 hose. I should have taken that out of here. That's not even... Sure, let's drop it where we can't reach it. Perfect. Let's knock those all down. That's 18. We'll need that there. This one goes back there. This one goes back there. It's making sense. Don't worry. All right. Stick with that. We're still making progress. We're just not going to make as much progress as I had hoped. But such is life. Hopefully this plow doesn't fall over on us and kill us. It could at any time. And that's fine. We've grown tired of living. Alright. Thread tape it up, which is just easy to do with it on here. This is the reason right here why I probably should have just taken the pipes off of the plow. If I had taken them off of the plow, I think we could have gone. I mean, this is a mess. This is not my normal way of this. But it'll go. I promise. Promise it'll go. Can we even get in there at all? Probably not. We'll just tighten it with the hose. It'll work. Yes, we're gonna struggle, don't worry. We will struggle. Alright, you shut off at some point there for being too hot, but I'm impressed with this. These were the ones I was worried about, that I'd never ever get them to fit in there nice, and they're pretty well perfect. The originals, when I measured, came out to something like 14 inches, and I thought, what am I gonna do? These are 18-inch hoses, and they seem to match up just fine. So Chinesium measurement is obviously different than what I would call it. So sure, I'm not complaining though, because I figured it out. I took the old ones with me to the store, which I'm sure they like to have those rusty, nasty things dripping all over their floor, but the customer is always right. So I figured that's what I would pull out of my excuse bag as soon as they complained. So now we're down to this sad sack, the back of this unit. And I guess it really matters not which one is where. I would be more inclined that the bottom one would be the longest one. You know what I'm saying? I think that would look more nice-like. So how do we want to do this? Well, do we want to put the swivel here? I think we do. Let's figure it out. We'll get with it. So I have 148 and 136, because again they measured an odd amount. So I got what was closest to what I thought it should be. It actually would probably be better to have the swivel out here so that if this moves some way, the hose can flex a little. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Which see then also should mean I should turn you around so you can see what's happening. Because the whole point of this is for you to know what's happening. Yeah. I don't know. Sure. Oh, that's awesome. I think that's how it was, though. It actually was clocked wrong like that. So, what's probably going to happen before this is over with, it's probably going to end up leaking. We're probably going to end up doing all kinds of stuff to get it the way it should be. Come on. How's that strike you? Boy, I could have got by with a lot shorter hose. Knudsen. Maybe we'll switch someday, but I don't think we will today. We'll just go with it. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Let's get this one out of here. It inevitably will be too long as well, won't it? Kind of. Let's see. Okay. This might actually have been a good place for custom hoses. I don't know. In a moment, you will see what I'm talking about. It'll also greatly restrict my movement of the wrench, so that's wonderful. That's what we want. All right, so you see how we're going to have a little bit of extra loop-de-loo, and really I don't think we would need that because the cylinder never ever moves. Ever. Never ever. All you're moving is here. So we could have probably got by with some custom hose that was shorter, but life's too short to worry about stuff like that, so we're just gonna roll with it, friends. We're just gonna roll with it. We gotta tighten these two up, and then we're as far as we can be. That's livable, or live-withable, if that's a word. We could zip tie those together if we're worried about, catching on stuff. I probably will zip tie those together, because look how pretty that would make that. Then there's a little bit of flex in them, but they won't grab on anything that way. But yeah, if it wasn't for my stupidity, we'd be able to give this a shot right now. So we're gonna have to unfortunately wait until I get some ends, but it's looking pretty snazzy, like it might actually have a chance of lifting up. So that's pretty sweet. We have to, what else? Well, I'm sure this will probably leak like a sieve once we get going, and we'll have to fix that. The tire, I think, is it holding air still? Well, it's still that shape. I don't know that it's really doing its thing, but anyway, camera too hot, so we're gonna probably have to leave this one here. I was looking at coulters. There is one stuck coulter we'll have to give attention to, but other than that, it's amazing enough that this plow, which is set for years and years, will probably plow again without much effort. So yeah, anyway, what did I give for this? $100, I think. So with the hoses, we're up to $300 for a 5-bottom 508 plow. I don't think that's a bad gig. So yeah, we will get some ends and a tractor at some point in one of the next ones, and we will make this happen. We'll have to get it. It's got to be moved from here anyway, so we'll definitely try it out and see what we got. But for now, we're going to call this one here. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.